There are certain truths about human nature that most people never learn, not because they are hidden, but because they are uncomfortable. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this better than almost anyone in history. He observed people not from a place of cynicism, but from a quiet acceptance of what humans consistently reveal about themselves when power, fear, desire, and insecurity mix beneath the surface. And if you've ever wondered why some people seem to glide through social life with clarity, while others struggle in confusion, it's often because one group understands these truths and the other avoids them. What I'm about to tell you is not meant to make you manipulative, cold, or controlling. It's meant to give you awareness, a calm, steady awareness that allows you to see people as they are, not as you hope they will be. Machiavelli wrote for leaders, but his warnings apply to everyday life. Friendships, family dynamics, workplace politics, relationships, and even the quiet internal battles you rarely discuss out loud. He believed that human beings are predictable in their unpredictability. They want to be good, but will choose what benefits them. They value loyalty, but will switch sides if fear or advantage pushes them. They admire honesty, but respond more strongly to confidence and certainty. And they say they want truth, but react emotionally when confronted by it. These observations are not dark, they are simply real. And when you understand them, not only do you stop being blindsided by people's behavior, but you also stop taking things so personally. You begin to move differently. You become calmer, quieter, and less reactive. You stop expecting fairness from the unfair, consistency from the inconsistent, and honesty from the habitual pretender. This is why Machiavelli's true warning isn't about power. It's about self-protection. Aware people suffer less, not because life treats them more kindly, but because they see things early. They prepare their mind, and they understand the terrain before stepping into it. So, today, we're going to explore 6 of Machiavelli's most misunderstood warnings. Lessons that can reshape how you move in the world if you understand them. Not to control others, but to avoid being controlled by them. Let's begin. Number 1, people judge by appearances first, always. Machiavelli warned that most people judge more with their eyes than with their hands, meaning they rely on surface impressions long before they examine the truth beneath them. In modern psychology, this idea aligns with the halo effect, a cognitive bias where people assume that if someone looks confident, calm, or collected, they must also be competent, intelligent, or trustworthy. It is not logical, but it is deeply human. The mind is wired to make quick judgments, often using appearance and demeanor as shortcuts. Research in social psychology shows that people form impressions of others in less than a second, and those first impressions can shape everything from how much someone is believed to how much power they are granted to how they are treated in social or professional settings. This is why Machiavelli's warning remains timeless. It is not enough to have good intentions. Humans rarely see intentions. They see behavior, posture, tone, and presence. When you present yourself with composure, it acts like a psychological shield. Calmness signals stability, and stability signals safety. People instinctively trust what feels steady. This is why leaders, negotiators, and even therapists train themselves to maintain a neutral, grounded expression. It gives others the impression of reliability before a single word is exchanged. A composed demeanor also helps regulate how others respond to you. If you remain steady in conflict, others are less likely to escalate. If you speak slowly and with purpose, People perceive you as thoughtful rather than reactive. These small cues shape the way people interact with you, often tipping social dynamics in your favor without force or manipulation. Machiavelli understood that appearing in control, even when one is uncertain, often earns more respect than displaying every emotion openly. On the other hand, a chaotic or inconsistent presence exposes you long before your real weaknesses ever do. When someone appears frantic, overly emotional, or unpredictable, people intuitively distance themselves, even if that person means well. Psychology shows that visible instability activates threat detection mechanisms in the brain, causing others to withdraw, judge, or distrust. This has nothing to do with your true character and everything to do with how the human mind protects itself from perceived risk. Machiavelli was not encouraging deception. He was reminding us that humans interpret signals long before they understand motives. Your presentation becomes the lens through which others read your entire identity. In a world where judgments are fast, subconscious, and often unfair, understanding this principle gives you power. It teaches you to refine not just who you are internally, but also how you appear externally. Composure is not a performance, it is a strategic form of self-respect. When your outer presence reflects clarity, your inner truth finally has room to be seen. Number 2, good intentions mean little without boundaries. Machiavelli observed that while people will always admire kindness, they will just as easily exploit it the moment it appears unguarded, and this idea remains strikingly relevant in modern psychology. Today, researchers describe this pattern as high agreeableness without assertiveness, a personality profile that is warm, cooperative, and compassionate, but often struggles to say no, set limits, or push back when necessary. Studies in personality psychology, especially within the Big Five model, show that individuals who score high in agreeableness but low in assertiveness are more prone to stress, emotional exhaustion, and even lower life satisfaction because they internalize pressure in order to maintain harmony. This isn't because they lack strength. Rather, they prioritize peace so deeply that they unintentionally teach others to treat their generosity as an unlimited resource. Machiavelli would have called this a predictable response to human nature. People follow incentives. When your kindness becomes endless, silent, and self-sacrificial, it stops being perceived as kindness and starts being treated as availability. In everyday life, this dynamic shows up quietly but consistently. The friend who always agrees to help, even when overwhelmed, becomes the default problem solver. The co-worker who never pushes back becomes the one assigned extra work. The family member who avoids conflict becomes the emotional caretaker for everyone else's tension. These patterns don't arise from malice. They arise from the simple psychological truth that humans adapt quickly to what is freely given. Behavioral science calls this reinforcement. When you continually reward certain behavior with compliance or accommodation, people will naturally repeat it, often without realizing the pressure they're placing on you. Over time, the agreeable person reaches a breaking point. Burnout sets in, resentment grows. The imbalance becomes unbearable, not because they were kind, but because their kindness had no boundaries to support it. This is why boundaries are not barriers. They are structures that protect and preserve the very qualities that make someone compassionate in the first place. In psychology, assertiveness is defined as the ability to express needs, limits, and feelings honestly while still respecting others. It exists right in the healthy middle ground between passivity and aggression. Assertiveness doesn't diminish your warmth, it strengthens it by making it intentional rather than reactive. Machiavelli might have said that guarded kindness is the only form of kindness that survives in the real world, and modern research agrees. Boundaries do not make you unkind. They make your kindness sustainable. They ensure your empathy remains a gift rather than a burden, a choice rather than an obligation, and a strength rather than a doorway for exploitation. Number 3, loyalty shifts under pressure. Machiavelli observed a truth that most people learn only after being disappointed. Loyalty is rarely permanent because loyalty is tied to conditions, and conditions never stay the same. In The Prince, he wrote that people remain loyal only as long as circumstances remain stable, meaning their fears, their benefits, and their insecurities stay predictable. But the moment a new pressure arises, such as fear, danger, or social backlash, or the moment a new reward appears, such as opportunity, advantage, or personal gain, human behavior naturally shifts. This isn't always betrayal. Often it's simply human nature recalculating incentives. Modern psychology supports this idea. Behavioral scientists call it contingent loyalty, where individuals behave consistently until the environment changes the cost or reward of maintaining that consistency. In evolutionary psychology, this is linked to survival instincts. Humans adapt their alliances based on what feels safest or most advantageous. When people face a new threat or an unexpected insecurity, their nervous system prioritizes self-preservation over emotional promises. And when new opportunities arise, the brain's reward circuits urge exploration, even if it means abandoning past commitments. This understanding is not meant to make you cynical. It is meant to make you realistic. The problem many people face is that they grant unconditional trust to people who have never been placed in situations where their loyalty could be tempted, strained, or tested. Someone who has never been pressured has never had their loyalty proven. Machiavelli advised leaders to judge people not by what they say, but by how they behave when the situation shifts beneath their feet, because that is when their true nature is revealed. In daily life, this means understanding that the friend who is loyal when things are easy might not act the same when fear enters, or when a better offer appears, or when insecurity changes the emotional balance. It means recognizing that trust should be built slowly, not from comfort, but from observation over time, through both ease and hardship. It means accepting that loyalty based on convenience is fragile, while loyalty formed through shared adversity is durable. This awareness helps you avoid the naive assumption that people will remain exactly who they were when you first met them. Instead, you learn to evaluate the stability of their character by watching them in unstable moments. Understanding this does not make you cold or paranoid, it makes you wise. It teaches you to trust with your eyes open, to value proven loyalty over promised loyalty, and to protect yourself from placing your peace in the hands of those who have never been tested. Number 4, people follow certainty, not truth. One of Machiavelli's most profound warnings is that humans naturally gravitate toward confidence, even when that confidence is deeply flawed. He observed this again and again in political courts, military ranks, and everyday human behavior. People respond not simply to truth, but to the way truth is delivered. A quiet fact often loses to a loud assertion, and a hesitant truth-teller can be overshadowed by a bold pretender. In The Prince, Machiavelli explains that perception frequently outweighs reality, because the human mind is wired to equate certainty with competence. Psychology today supports this idea through what researchers call the confidence heuristic, a mental shortcut where people instinctively trust the person who sounds more self-assured, even if their information is incomplete or inaccurate. Numerous studies reveal that individuals who speak with a steady tone, assertive body language, and organized arguments are rated as more credible, regardless of the factual strength behind their claims. This doesn't mean that arrogance wins or that lies should be glamorized. What Machiavelli pointed out is that truth without strength often gets ignored, and certainty without truth often gets rewarded simply because people are influenced more by presentation than intention. This understanding isn't meant to make you manipulative, it's meant to make you aware. If you possess insight, wisdom, or clarity, you must present it with enough structure and confidence for others to recognize its value. A brilliant idea whispered timidly can be dismissed as uncertainty, while an inferior idea delivered boldly can shift opinions. Human nature responds to signals before substance. We listen to the voice that sounds like it knows where it's going. We follow the person who appears steady when everyone else is unsure, and in times of chaos, people instinctively look for the individual who behaves like a compass. Machiavelli's warning is not a call to become loud or egotistical. Instead, it is a reminder that strength of delivery protects the truth you carry. If you know something is right, if you have thought deeply, if your insight is grounded in reality, then presenting it firmly is not arrogance, it is responsibility. Confidence, when built on integrity, doesn't distort truth, it amplifies it. When you speak with calm certainty, you give your ideas the structure they need to stand. You ensure that your wisdom isn't overlooked simply because someone else is willing to present nonsense with more boldness. In a world where perception often leads reality, Machiavelli teaches that the truth deserves a strong voice, yours. Number 5, never reveal all of your mind. Machiavelli believed that one of the greatest mistakes a person can make is revealing too much too soon, because human beings naturally attempt to influence what they understand and interfere with what they can predict. In psychology, this idea aligns with the modern principle of strategic self-disclosure, which suggests that people should share enough to build trust and rapport, but never so much that they hand others a blueprint to their emotional vulnerabilities. Studies in social psychology show that humans instinctively adjust their behavior when they sense someone's weaknesses, even subconsciously, which explains why oversharing can sometimes lead to manipulation, judgment, or unsolicited advice. Machiavelli observed this centuries ago while watching political figures lose power simply because they spoke without awareness of the consequences. In everyday life, this principle plays out quietly. The more you reveal, the more others believe they have access to your direction, your decisions, and sometimes even your identity. Silence, therefore, is not secrecy. It is selective wisdom. It is the practice of choosing when, how, and why you speak, based on intention rather than impulse. Modern neuroscience echoes this through research on emotional regulation, showing that people who pause before expressing themselves strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for reasoning and self-control. This kind of intentional restraint allows a person to stay grounded, thoughtful, and harder to manipulate. Yet Machiavelli's point was never about becoming a closed book or distancing yourself from human connection. It was about protecting your agency. When you speak with clarity and purpose instead of rushing to explain yourself, people naturally take your presence more seriously. This isn't encouragement to be arrogant or cold, but a reminder that presenting your ideas with firmness and precision influences how the world responds to you. When your words become deliberate, your influence becomes stronger, and others value what you say because they sense it carries intention rather than insecurity. Number 6, learn to see the world as it is, not as it should be. Machiavelli's ultimate warning has always been misunderstood as a call to coldness, but in truth, it is a call to clarity. Idealism without realism leads to disappointment, while realism without bitterness leads to strength. He observed that the greatest suffering often comes not from what people do, but from what we expected them to be. When you understand human nature as it is rather than as you wish it to be, something remarkable happens. You stop moving through life in a state of emotional surprise. You stop being shocked when someone acts out of insecurity, ambition, fear, jealousy, or self-interest, because Machiavelli understood that these are not exceptions to human behavior. They are constants. This doesn't make life darker. It makes it more manageable. Psychologists today echo the same insight, noting that emotional resilience increases when a person holds balanced expectations of others. In fact, studies on cognitive realism show that people who see human behavior accurately without romanticizing it make stronger decisions and experience less interpersonal stress. This is not cynicism. It is emotional intelligence grounded in observation. And when you stop expecting perfection from others, you also stop abandoning yourself just to maintain harmony. You stop overgiving. You stop explaining your worth. You stop weakening your boundaries just to avoid being misunderstood. Machiavelli warned leaders about this tendency long before modern psychology gave it language. When you misunderstand people's motives, you become vulnerable. When you understand them clearly, you become steady. Realism allows you to move through life like a quiet observer, calm, unshaken, and deliberate. You respond instead of react. You discern instead of assume. You detach without becoming distant. You empathize without being naive. This is what Machiavelli meant. See clearly, but do not become hardened. Accept the truth of human nature, and you rise above the chaos of it. It isn't darkness. It's clarity, the kind that frees you from disappointment and anchors you in strength.